So do you want to find out what the current meta of Blox suits is in today's video? In today's video, you guys will be entertained by understanding the current meta of Blox suits. In today's video, you guys will definitely find out what the best things to use in Blox suits are, and also probably be praising Blox suits a little bit because this meta is definitely one of the most interesting metas we have had so far in Blox suits. So don't forget to watch till the very end, and yeah, subscribe. And before that, a word from our very lovely sponsor. So you want to earn some Robux or get some free Robux? Well, if you do, check out our friends at robuxworks.com. My friend told me that they will be hosting a 100 million Robux giveaway, and best of all, each person of you that will be joining could potentially win a million Robux each. So go check out robuxworks.com. Alright, so now when we're talking about it, while we are talking about it, I just wanted to mention first that this is going to be from my own observations only, so you are allowed to form your own theories. You're all allowed to form your own theories basically on what the current meta will be, or what the meta will change to, or what the meta is at right now. But this video that I will be posting is basically very much dependent on my observations, which is done from a bit of playing the game, if you know what I mean. So basically, the current meta that we have right now, just want to tell them, I'll be hitting you guys. Don't fight back until I say, alright? I won't kill. So, the current meta in today's video is going to be described as the Race V4 meta. Now, if we go take a look about a couple months ago, I talked about the meta as well and how the meta was pretty bad. It talks about a pretty bad meta and how everything was basically full of spam, and that the game basically consisted of you just being a spammer. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about how Race V4 somehow, in some way, changed the PvP system and changed the meta system of Blox suits. So back then, the past meta, the best meta back then were using fruits that could stun, using guns that could stun, or using anything that could stun. The meta back then was to use a fruit or anything that could stun your enemies, and then if you could stun your enemies, you could one-shot combo them with a barrage of moves. Like, let's say, for example, Dough Fruit could one-shot combo people, Ice could one-shot combo people, a lot of other stuff could one-shot combo people. A lot, alright? In today's end, also, in that meta before, the Leopard Fruit was one of the best fruits because it was spammable. Dough Fruit was also one of the best fruits because it was spammable as well, and it required little to no effort in order to learn how to use. So, if you go use Leopard in today's meta, let's say you use Leopard in today's meta, like yada, and you use Leopard, it's supposed to deal more damage. I'm a fruit build, so I'm not doing that much damage, but if you use Leopard in today's meta, you will be wasting the most powerful ability of Race V4 that all races have. The most powerful ability of Race V4 that I'm talking about, and the most powerful ability of Race V4 that I'm talking about, is the power of Race V4 to basically make all of your stats become max, alongside a bit of a damage bonus there. So basically what Race V4 does is it makes sure all of your attacks or all of your stats be super overpowered. So as you guys can see right here, my gun has 0 stats without Race V4, but because it has Race V4, I have 2,694 stats in gun, which makes my gun deal so much damage, and also makes my sword deal so much damage. You guys can see how much damage I dealt with just one move there, like over to 6,000. And also my melee could also deal a lot of damage, my sword could deal a lot of damage, my gun could deal a lot of damage, and my fruits could deal a lot of damage. Now, the reason why the meta is no longer same with the meta last year is now, for example, the Blox suits meta, or Leopard right now, is basically useless. Like, Leopard now will be useless because you will basically be wasting the stats that you have on your gun, on your blocks, and on your sword. If you use Leopard, you would waste the stats you have on your gun and your sword, which is a lot of damage. You wouldn't even be dealing close to that much damage with Leopard if you used the other weapons. Like, now, Leopard is pretty much useless. It's not useless, it's still in the meta, but it's just not the top of the meta anymore. Or it's not in the meta anymore. It's just not in the meta anymore because there's so many better options now than Leopard, for example, that instead of using Leopard, you could use something like Phoenix, for example, which is now in the meta. The reason why Phoenix is in the meta and Blox or Leopard is no longer in the meta is because Phoenix despite having a transformation, allows you to heal yourself, which is why. And Phoenix in the last meta, Phoenix was useless, right? Phoenix in the last meta was useless, and there's a lot of swords in the last. There's a lot of fruits back then in the last meta that were useless, that are overpowered now. Like for example, let's say one of the good examples of fruits that were kind of bad before but are pretty overpowered now is Quake, because Quake has a very good AoE. The fact that Quake has a very good AoE means that you're gonna get a lot of your means you're gonna get a lot of Race Awakening ability fast. I'm gonna try and use my Quake here. Eats. So I'm gonna try and use my Quake and show you guys what I mean. All right. So yeah. Wait. Let me just get. Oh. Alright, so let me show you guys why it's perhaps part of the meta now. Now, the reason why it's meta now is because of that long-ass hitbox that it has, and this Quake move right here. It basically allows you to hit a lot of people at the same time, and because of the extra damage that you do and all the extra abilities that you have on all of your stuff, it makes it super overpowered now. Like, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, Quake is definitely one of the more overpowered fruits now, just because of the overpowered hitbox that it has. It's basically one of the most powerful fruits now, because right now, having a fruit with tons of hitbox means you can hit more people. If you can hit more people, you would get a faster Race Awakening bar. And the more people you hit, the faster your Race Awakening bar will fill up. And also, not just that, Quake basically deals a lot of damage now too, which is why back then I said it was perhaps one of the worst fruits, and now it's perhaps one of the best fruits in this current meta, because in this current meta, it doesn't matter if you can stun your enemies anymore. In this current meta, you can still combo, but in this current meta, you could one-shot combos, you could one-shot somebody even if you don't use a combo on them. Let's say I do that, right? Like, I don't even need to like one-shot combo people no more. Like, all I have to do is use my race abilities and they're perhaps dead. You guys could see there how I didn't even use a combo and I just beat that guy up. That's the current meta now. The current meta now no longer that much relies on combos. It's now a little bit more reliant on Race V4, which is why, in my opinion, it's super cool. Because now, as long as you get your Race V4 open, or as long as you get your Race V4 on, you'll be able to beat a lot of your enemies much faster. And that's one of the reasons why the meta has changed. Like, perhaps the best fruit to use in this meta would be Quake, or Phoenix, because it can heal you. Quake is also pretty overpowered because it allows you to have a higher hitbox. And also, one of the reasons why Quake is very overpowered and why this meta has changed. So one of the reasons why, in my opinion, this meta is perhaps one of the best meta ever in Blox fruits ever. So one of the reasons why I think this meta is perhaps the best meta out there is because the addition of Race V4 added a bunch of new abilities. Like, for example, Cyborg. For Cyborg, you had the ability that you could deal damage to enemies as long as you hit them. And that's a very good ability. But in my opinion, the fact that each race has different abilities and every person in Blox fruits use different races means that for every race you have, you could use a different build that would make it more overpowered. Like, let's say, for example, if you have a Cyborg race, using Phoenix would be very overpowered, because if you had Cyborg race, you had the ability that would give you more energy, and you could use Phoenix's ability to heal yourself up with the energy that you use. So it's very overpowered. Quake is also pretty good with Cyborg because, like I said, Quake is pretty slow, but it has a pretty large hitbox. And all you need with Quake is to hit somebody. And if you have Cyborg Race V4 on, and you hit somebody with Quake, they would get the damage over time race ability, and that would deal a lot of damage to them. And it's also pretty good with Human, because for Human, like, you deal so much damage, it doesn't even matter if you just hit them once. They're gonna probably die. So what I'm talking about is very simple. Basically, all I mean is that the current meta, or current Blox fruits meta, has changed so much to the point where it doesn't really, or so much to the point where Race V4 now is the meta. As long as you have Race V4 now, basically almost any fruit could be useful. Like I said, for example, chop could be useful because if you have chop on, sword users wouldn't be able to damage you, and if you had rubber on, gun users wouldn't be able to damage you. And let's say, for example, Phoenix, which was pretty bad in the last meta, is pretty useful now. And if you had Quake, which was pretty mediocre, it wasn't bad in the last meta, it was just mediocre. Quake, if you have Quake right now and you have Human, for example, the large hitbox of Quake plus the damage of Human would basically obliterate anybody. You could also use Quake with Cyborg. And stuns now aren't even that useful anymore because there's a lot of stuff that counter stuns now. Like for example, if you use Doe against a Cyborg user, you'd probably lose since you wouldn't be able to use your moves against them, since Cyborg has the damage over time ability that prevents people from holding their abilities. The same with Ghoul, same with Skypian, which stuns people that they get too close to them. So stuns aren't even that overpowered anymore. Raze V4 right now is super overpowered, and the best thing you could do now with Raze V4 is mixing and matching and finding what works best for you. I'm going to make tons of videos with builds, like for example Leopard plus Mink, or Leopard plus Ghoul maybe, or Human plus Quake, which in my opinion is pretty cool. I'm gonna make tons of videos like that. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe because I love you all so much. And thank you guys for 8,600 subscribers. Join the Discord. We're doing a giveaway there right now. And if you guys thank you guys so much. If you guys enjoyed the content, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.